What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Double M Motorsports. Let's get this Midwest mod wrapped up. Sit back, enjoy the episode. All right, in last week's episode, we got the motor dropped in, most of the accessories put on, new headers, all the cables, everything, whatnot. Today I already got started. I went ahead and fixed my fan shroud. This thing was chewed all to pieces where the fan had gotten into it even before I bought the car. This is the original shroud that came with this thing, but it was all chewed up. It had gotten in the fan at some point in time and chewed up that shroud. So I wanted to get that all nice and clean. All I did was cut off the back side of it and this side, which is where the damaged side was, and bent a piece of metal around, cut a giant hole in it, and we should be good. And I am half in, half out. Last year I was having overheating issues because I had the fan way too far inside the shroud there. So we should be good. I'm taking all the precautions I can to not overheat this year. I took the radiator home the other day and got it all cleaned out, flushed out, pressure washed it really good, got all the dirt out from the grates and the screen. So it should be good to go. Started dumping some antifreeze in there. Today what I want to get wrapped up is I've got the new plug wires we need to get on. I need to get the carb cleaned, get it thrown on here. Still got to hook up the thermostat. And I was going to run different doors, but I cannot. I don't know where all my passenger doors went. All I have are old driver's doors. And so I might as well just, throw these on there and call it good. I may throw my old driver's one on the other side over there. But yeah, I'll just go ahead and run this plastic one on this side. The other one would be metal. If I do damage that, I might have enough metal to make one more door, but it's not really worth the risk on that. So I will run the other door that has my old numbers on it. All right, spark plug wires are all on. God dang, those things are freaking massive compared to the old ones. But it didn't come with any instructions, so I'm guessing it just seemed to fit better. There's a flat end. One side had a flat end on it, and one had a rounded end on it. The rounded ones seemed to fit better up here than the flat ones. So I put the flat ones. You can see how it's flat there on the plug, round one up on the distributor. I don't know if these 10 millimeter plug wires are going to do any better than what I had. These were the old plug wires here, and these are the MSD superconductors. And I think I paid 120, 130 bucks for those. I paid 160 for those, 180, something like that. But running a just regular distributor, I don't really know if these bigger plug wires are going to do me any better or not, but they will be more resistant to heat. I did kind of melt a plug wire last year, or got it hot, but I was running a different set of headers that night that I borrowed that set to run the turkey bowl. So we'll see. You see me wiping stuff off. They're covered in this kind of a baby powder, probably to keep them from sticking in the box and shipping. But I was trying to clean that off as much as I could. But all right, next I'm going to move on to the carburetor. That'll be the last thing that needs to go on the motor, besides putting oil in it and the oil filter, which I got to wait till next week to get. But that'll be the last thing to put on the motor. I want to go through, clean it up. It's been sitting over here patiently waiting on the cart. So I'm gonna get this thing cleaned up. I thought I had another carburetor gasket, so I guess I will need to get another one of those before I can slap it on fully. But we'll get this cleaned up anyhow. And I also want to check the size of the needle inside there, or the jet inside of there, to see what this carburetor is running. This is a Willys carb. It's a Willys Holly. But it just comes from Speedway Motors. So it just comes off the shelf. It's not set up by Willys or anything like that. It's just got their metering blocks and stuff inside of it. You know, they didn't set it up specially for this motor, especially for me. So I want to see what size of jet is in it. Last year, we were having kind of a stumble just on immediate acceleration. So when I would get on the throttle to start going, it would kind of fall on its face and then pick up. I don't want to say that's why all my restarts suck, but it's part of it. Whenever I hit the throttle, it doesn't go until, you know, a couple seconds later. Maybe not even a couple seconds, it seems like it. But so I want to look at the jet in here, see what it's got. I've got my old carburetor, I think, sitting in the box over there, and it actually did pretty good as far as takeoff. So I'm going to see what size of jet's in this one, see what size of jet's in that one, and maybe swap them out if that one's different than this one. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so today we are going to start with carb work. I've got the old carb here. I've got the one we ran last year, brand new Willys Holly that we're going to do. So I'd been looking at, we need to check the jets and see what, I want to see what jet's in this one, what jet's in this one. This one always ran good. This one, I kind of have a stumble on acceleration, like quick throttle. It just kind of falls on its face for a second and then picks up and goes. So I was told the jets could be an issue with that. So I was looking at a few things on these carbs. The first thing I checked was the squirter size. These little deals down in there, they mount right inside of there under that screw, are the squirters. That's where your fuel comes out, and their sizes on there. You can see that one's a 28. That one down there, I can read it on the front, is a 37. So the bigger the number, the more fuel you're getting out. So the Willys carb is a high performance carburetor. And so that 37 is on the high performance side of things. That's more fuel for your, when you press down the throttle pedal there, it gives more fuel to the carb. So you want the bigger squirter in there. So next I'm going to, I've had to do a lot of research on these carbs. Next I'm going to start looking at the jets. Carburetor stuff is something I haven't really dove in too much. I don't know a lot about them. I learned last year how to adjust your float level, the floats on the side of the bowl there. And they say you want the fuel about halfway up there in the fuel sight glass. And so this screw there is how you adjust that. One way makes it go more, one way makes it go less. You've got your, sorry, it's hard to do this, hold on to the phone at the same time. Air fuel adjusters, you got one on that side. You've got another one on that side. And so that is the adjustment that Scott made at the Turkey Bowl that made the motor run a little better. It'd been running rough all year. Well, not all year, but it had started running rough. He made some adjustments to those, and that improved the response we got there. So next thing I wanted to check was the jetting. I know this carburetor was built out. It's just older. I didn't want to put it on a brand new motor, and most of the carb rebuild guys, I was told, if I took this to them and wanted to get it rebuilt, they would just tell me to scrap it and buy a new one because it's about the same price. So that's why I went and bought the new one for the new motor. But I want to see what jet's inside of this, because I do know that this carburetor was built by somebody that was running, the cars in our area. This one was just bought off a Speedway. It is a great base platform. The Willys carbs are, but they've got to be adjusted to your area. So this was just bought off the shelf, nothing been done to it yet. So that's why I want to check this out. So next we're going to check for the jets, and I had to do research to even figure out where the jets were at in these things. And they are supposedly back here underneath this cap. So we'll get these off. I'll compare the jet sizes and we'll see what they are. All right, we got these broke down here. I'll just point out a few key differences I've noticed between a stock Holley carburetor and the Willys carburetor. Inside your bowl here, the stock one's got the plastic float. Everything else inside there look the same. And the aluminum one, this has got the metal float on there, or aluminum, or whatever that is inside there. The jets were different sizes. The Willys carb had a 74 size jet, number 74 in it, and the one that had been built had a 75 in there. Did a little research on Google, and it said if you are experiencing a hesitation, lag on throttle response, then you're going to want the 75 over the 74. It's a bigger jet, the 75 is, so it allows more fuel in there. So it makes the car run richer. 74 leans out your fuel mixture. So if you're feeling, it said if you're feeling like the motor's bogged down or you're not getting the horsepower you should be getting, then you need to lean it out with the 74s. So I'm going to try these 75s in there off the get-go this year, see how that does, and because that is exactly what we were experiencing, was the, delayed throttle response. So I think with this and the bigger squirter on the inside, then that may be our ticket. So this is what I'm going to go with. We'll get this thing put back together and throw it on the car, get it installed. All right, you guys seen me cut the hole there. I went ahead and put a hem in it with my little homemade. I gotta do better next year. My blade that I used to cut this was too thick, but it's my homemade hemming tool there. A little block of oak, but put a hem all the way around it so I don't have any sharp edges. Last year you could cut your fingers on this dang hood, so I wanted to go the extra mile since this is the first full body I've built. Do the best that I can on it. So hood should be ready to go. I double checked to make sure we were pretty close with the last year's setup. Last year we were tight over here on this side. So this is definitely lined up a lot better with everything else. I was scared for a second that this was going to be too big, way too big for the hole, but it ain't going to be too bad. It looks worse than it is there because it's laying down. But yeah, that ain't going to be too bad. We've got a pretty good gap around there. That ought to be easy to get the hood on. Now we just got to put the protector on there, the valance, hood scoop valance. And this thing will be wrapped up. All right, there we go. That is all wrapped up. Not too bad. I'm extremely happy with that. Putting that hem in there really put some strength in the hood too. Between that and your valance, man, that put a lot of rigidity back in the hood. So that was good. The girls are gonna like it a lot better. This hood's gonna slide on slick as a whistle. Last year we fought it every time we got it on just to get it around that air cleaner. Plus it ripped this is a new one. If you'll remember, I had to order a whole new air cleaner on the turkey bowl because I left mine on the trailer on the way there. So it flew off on the way to the turkey bowl last year. But new air cleaner, just been ran one race, so this is a new breather. But the old hood would rub up on there and it was ripping the breather and everything. So happy with that. That is going to be a wrap on this video. We are so freaking close. I've got this bar here that we still need to put inside of there to add the final strength and to give support for the other nose piece there. So I've got that to do. I've got to hook up the drive line, which it's sitting over there on the back of the four-wheeler. Got to put the drive line in, nut and bolt everything. All the electrical's done. I still got to trim down that A-pillar, and then we've got body bracing and bottom valance. So, and then that'll be a wrap. And then also the rear spoiler. I still need to make. Geez, adding to my list. I still got to make new wings, get rid of the wrinkles there. So, and then this spoiler, I'm still trying to figure out what to do. It is not, you can see there, that is not a 90. Our spoilers have to be at a 90 degree to the deck. So I was playing around with it. I think I'm going to try to bend this to a 90, but I got to get that done. So we've still got a whole nother day's worth of work here to get everything wrapped up on here. But we are so close. She's getting there. I'm ready to get all the plastic off of it and see what she looks like. I love black. I love the look of black. The only thing that sucks with black is it scratches super easy. I mean, the decking and everything, it'll all be scratched so bad before the end of the season. The hood will be the same way. That's why I'm hoping the wrap, I'm going to have to probably run this, several races without a wrap on it. And then once the wrap gets on there, I'm not even going to tell you what it's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to look like. I know what the colors are going to be. But it'll be nice to not have all the scratches being shown on the gloss metal. But all right, guys, I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.